Who is he? Hello and welcome to Crimewatch.
The man who killed Sally Ann Bowman and her driver nearly 3 months ago could be your neighbour, friend or workmate. He's melted back into the community just as he seems to have done 4 years ago when he exposed himself to a woman making a call from a phone box.
But now we know quite a bit more about him. Just before his lethal attack on Sally Ann, he found another woman making a phone call. Thankfully, she survived what happened. She's been able to describe how, astonishingly, the attacker apologised to her, even as he was bringing his knife repeatedly down on her head.
A little over half an hour later, he found Sally Ann. She didn't survive to tell us her story, but we've pieced it together. We pick it up just 2 hours before she was confronted by her killer.
I must have mug tattooed on my forehead. Get in the car.
Stop.
Don't start. Come on.
Freezing.
Freezing?
What took you so long?
You are unbelievable. You know that. You are Why don't you get a cab like another normal person?
What's the problem? Would you rather I was
I'm not a
stranded?
taxi service, am I?
I didn't say you were.
Unbelievable.
We started going out on Christmas Day 2 years ago, and our relationship was good, but we did have quite a few arguments in that because we were both stubborn and argumentative. Me and Sally sat in the car for an hour or two just arguing, making up, laughing, play fighting, just messing about. And but that was perfectly normal for us to be out at them times in the car.
Just saying you don't need to be so moany at me.
So work all right, then?
Yeah. It's getting a bit busy, though.
I mean, it's better to do something to do.
Who's that?
What's his problem? What's that about?
All right, calm down.
What do you mean, calm down? What's he doing?
Calm down.
I don't believe this man had anything to do with the attack on Sally Ann. He is an important witness, and I do urgently need to speak to him.
I got out the car because I needed to get a better signal, and I crossed the road.
I'm really sorry. I am going to make it, but the car's giving me real trouble.
He looked normal. He looked a nice young lad. When I saw the knife, that's when I honestly thought I was going to die.
Take it.
Sorry.
And that's when he stopped and he looked at me and he looked terrible. He looked really, really awful. And if it wasn't for the fact of what he'd done to me, if I just walked in on the scene, I'd have thought he was in trouble and gone over again to ask him if he needed help.
Now, that phone that attacker took with him, it was connected. The person on the other end of that phone could hear this man. They could hear him breathing. They could hear him retching. And most significantly, they could hear the screams of the woman who'd been attacked. Now, what's probably most bizarre and most interesting is those screams never got any quieter like you'd expect if the man was running off down the road. Now, that can only mean one thing. The man stayed close by, he was probably hiding, and he was probably watching the events unfold in front of him.
Come with me, come on, let's put you in the cab, come on, come on.
Now, that phone call ended just before 4:45 in the morning. At some point, he must have crossed the Brighton Road, but for half an hour, where was he?
Are you off then, babe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Get off! Get off! Get
I do have a witness who did see something. They saw a man walking down the street back to Sally's house a few minutes after Sally was attacked. I'm convinced that is the killer returning to the scene. He took a bag, he took some items of clothing, he took a phone. What did he do with that phone? Did he take any pictures with it? He also took the knife, and that knife has never been recovered. "20 minutes after the attack, a witness saw a car parked in Blenheim Park Road, and that's right at the entrance to Blenheim Crescent where Sally Ann was killed. The car's a Ford Mondeo. But next to that car was a man who was leaning against the fence. He's a white man. What was he doing there? Did he see anything? Did he hear anything? This attack on Sally Ann is frankly just completely off the scale. I have never seen injuries that she suffered in my experience. Not only was Sally stabbed a number of times, she was also sexually assaulted. She was also brutally bitten a number of times on her body. Now, I can't get across, you know, in words what I saw with my own eyes. He's not just destroyed Sally as a girl, he's destroyed her future, and he's destroyed her family in many ways.
I see her family and that, and it just reminds me of her, and I see my friends with their girlfriends like hugging and like going to the cinema, and it's just hard knowing that I'll never be able to like spend another day with Sally.
This is DCI Stuart Cundy here in the studio. We've shown more violence in that than we've done in almost any other Crimewatch reconstruction. That's not a tenth of it.
It's not. It's a very powerful film. Not only was Sally stabbed a number of times, she's bitten a number of times on her body. She was also the victim of a violent sexual attack. Now, mercifully for Sally, much of that attack occurred after she was dead.
So she was sexually assaulted after he had killed her?
There are aspects of what happened to her that occurred after she died.
Now, the guy may look perfectly normal, may behave perfectly normally. I mean, apparently, according to the witness, you know, quite good looking. How can people identify him? How much do you know about him?
Well, he may appear normal, he might not appear strange to people who know him, but there are specific parts of, you know, aspects of what he's done which, you know, as I said earlier, are frankly off the scale. 2001, a mile away in Purley Cross, woman in a phone box. This man goes up to that phone box, stands in front of this woman, and then masturbates in front of her. There is forensic evidence, DNA evidence, that links him from that 2001 attack to Sally's attack.
But how if his mother, if his sister, if his brother, if his uncle, if his friends at work are watching, how are they going to identify him?
He's a white man, or at least very pale-skinned. He's probably between his mid-20s and mid-30s, average height, average build. He's not one extreme or the other. The woman who was attacked in Sanderstead Road said he had a Surrey accent. Now, I take that to mean it was a normal accent, wasn't regional, wasn't a foreign accent or something like that. But he also took property both from her and from Sally. Now, we never got that property back, and I think there's a strong chance he's retained it. He's kept it possibly as a trophy.
So he's got all these things. He's around 30, he's sort of medium to tallish. He's Surrey. He dresses well, good-looking, and secretive. He's got this sort of secretive.
I think
and of course, he must have been in South Croydon.
Well, that's right. Area. 2001, Purley Cross. It's less than a mile or thereabouts to where Sally Ann was murdered.
So you want people to ring in with anybody who fits that description in the South London area, even if they don't think whoever it is mad enough to do this?
I would urge anybody who has any suspicion about someone they know, look at that video that's just been shown, look at how horrendous his actions were on that night. Phone in. Those calls you call into police or call in here tonight will be treated in confidence. I can easily eliminate any name that is given to me.
Because you've got complete DNA?
I have the DNA evidence. I can easily eliminate
now,
any person.
Of course, he might look normal, behave normally. He might, of course, have some real psychiatric condition or a personality disorder, in which case he'd have come into contact, or may, with psychiatric services.
He may well have. I retain an open mind to that. It may be this man has never been in trouble with police before. He may, to his close friends and family, not appear strange in the most common sense aspects of that word.
Of course, it could well be, if he is suffering serious inner turmoil, and it can be wretched to have some sort of disease like the worst forms of schizophrenia. If it's someone who's watching, if you are watching, give us a call. A lot of people who can help, just call us here in the studio. Anyway, anybody who's watching can help in this. If you know anybody who fits that sort of description, even vaguely, easy to eliminate, as you heard, call us or call the Instant Room on 020-8721-4005. And if you've been the victim of a crime, this has been bringing it all back home to you, want to talk to somebody, you can always ring victim support on 0845 30 30 900.
Now, proof that Crimewatch gets results is plain to see after last month's programme. We featured the 5-year-old double murder of Andrew Robb and David McElwain, aged 19 and 20. They were both stabbed to death on the Drummuir Road near Tandragee in Northern Ireland. As a direct result of our appeal, 2 men have been arrested and charged with their murders.
Bob Singh was beaten to death while queuing at a takeaway last year. Following the appeal we did in April, Merjan Samaj has now started a life sentence for murder. Judge Clement Goldstone paid tribute to Crimewatch for our part in helping to bring him to justice.
3 other members of the Albanian gang are still wanted in connection with Bob's murder. They are Emijan Husey, Alfred Curti and Artan Husey. If you've seen them, call 0500 600 600.
Thanks to others callers to Crimewatch, we've quite a lot of other good news to tell you later. For now, though, I can report Crimewatch's fastest ever result. Martin Nicholas Toms was arrested during last month's programme, in fact, within minutes of his picture being shown. He's since pleaded guilty to forgery and deception. Still to come, the risks that women face when getting into an illegal minicab. A very determined young woman tells us how her driver delivered her into the hands of rapists.
I think it was just back there that we were supposed to take the turning off. Can you just stop the cab, please? Can you open the doors, please? Can you just unlock the doors, please?
With extraordinary tenacity, the survivor of that double rape has resurrected her schoolgirl drawing skills with these impressions of her attackers. More on them later.
The shooting of WPC Sharon Beshanivsky in Bradford 3 weeks ago shocked everyone. Yesterday, police arrested Muzakkar Shah. They also arrested an unnamed 23-year-old. One man is still wanted in connection with Sharon's murder. He's Mustaf Jama. We were in the West Yorkshire Police Incident Room yesterday.
We're actively seeking Mustaf Jama, who's 25 years of age. He's associated to people living in Sheffield, the West Midlands, specifically Birmingham, Leicestershire. He also has lots of connections in the London area as well. I would urge viewers from Crimewatch to think about the incident that's taken place on Friday the 18th of November. 2 unarmed officers have been shot on a Friday afternoon in the city of Bradford. That could be you, it could be one of your children, it could be one of your family. This is indiscriminate murder. PC Beshanevsky's family are clearly traumatised by what's taken place. Not only has Paul lost his wife, the children have also lost their mother. They're devastated. PC Milburn's obviously been through quite a traumatic experience herself. Not only has she been injured, she's also seen one of her close friends and colleagues killed in front of her. I would urge anybody who has any information to have the courage to come forward and allow us to get those responsible brought to justice.
And police tonight warn anyone considering helping or hiding Mustaf Jama, action will be taken against them. There's a £90,000 reward. Call us here in the studio, and you can now text us too. The number's 83199. Begin your text with the letters CW for Crimewatch and then your message. Now, Detective Constable Rav Wilding's roundup of criminals caught on camera.
And we start down the pub well after last orders.
It's the middle of the night, and these landlords in Sidcup have 2 armed robbers wreaking havoc in their pub. They want cash. The woman's kept at knife point inside. The man's forced back into the hall outside. The pair empty safes of £600 and make the getaway. They don't put a foot wrong until one falls flat on his face. Trip them up again if you know their names. Early morning, Farringdon Station, and this guy's looking for trouble. A man tries to pick up the water he's dropped. Our man picks a fight with him. He trails him through the barriers into the ticket hall and punches him to the floor. He inflicts a broken nose and fractured eye socket. The victim needs 15 stitches. Do you know him? The Co-op Bank in Newcastle upon Tyne. A thief with someone else's credit card. He's taking out £3,000 of someone else's money. The only thing that's definitely his is the smug smile. Recognise him? A designer label warehouse in Basildon and a £1.5 million fashion heist. Workers have been threatened with an axe, handcuffed and tied to chairs. The robbers load the goods into stolen lorries and this blue Renault van with fake plates. KG52 OXK. They're all masked up, but we do get a glimpse of two of them outside. Can you label these designer label robbers? Finally, these shoppers are using a cheque taken at knife point in a handbag snatch. Here's the woman again, this time with another accomplice and another snatched cheque. Who are they?
If you can help us snatch any of that lot, call us now. The number's on your screen.
Who hasn't daydreamed or fallen asleep on a bus and missed their stop? Normally that costs you no more than a bit of time, maybe a bit of money. But on the 30th of July, it may have cost Simon Pearce his life. It's 3:20 in the morning, and Simon's night bus pulls up at Rushy Green in Catford in southeast London. Two men cross the road and hang around the front doors just as Simon gets off. He's forced to walk between them, and as he moves behind the bus and away, they follow him. Some way across the road, they punch and kick him to the ground, leaving him lying, bleeding in the bus lane. Simon never regained consciousness and died 13 days later. Okay, and you're Simon's cousin. He was a mental health nurse. Tell us a bit about him. What was he like?
Well, Simon was a very caring individual, as is evidenced by his profession as a mental health nurse. He was also a very fun-loving person. He loved going out. He loved enjoying himself, going to pubs and clubs. He was adopted into a family some 40 years ago who very much cared for him and wanted him, and he's very much missed by us all, and we really can't understand why all this has happened.
When was the last time you saw Simon?
I last saw Simon at his father's funeral in Malton in Yorkshire early this year, little realising 2 months later I'd be back in the same church, in the same crematorium, attending Simon's funeral.
Well, Tim, this attack, I mean, it only lasted a few seconds, but it was ferocious, enough to kill Simon. He died a couple of weeks later in hospital. What do you know about the people who did it?
We're looking for two suspects, the ones you have on the images. Two young men, late teens, early 20s, both black men with short haircuts. One at the time was wearing a light-coloured top with light-coloured trousers. The other was wearing darker clothing, possibly a hooded sweatshirt. They followed Simon away from the bus and across the road.
And they were seen hanging around at a takeaway earlier on, weren't they?
That is, and the images that we present first are those with them eating a takeaway meal.
There are a couple of witnesses you think could help. I mean, we can see that actually there were quite a few people around, even though it was in the small hours, but there's two particular witnesses you want to get hold of.
Yes, there are two people who come down an alleyway from basically the McDonald's on the Catford Island site, and they turn left, head down towards the bus stop, the N36, where Simon was getting off the bus, at the same time as his two assailants were there. And they passed very close by, and they may well have seen or heard something that started this whole incident.
And there's a black cab as well, someone who was driving a black cab you want to talk to.
Yes, there is. There is a black cab that came around the South Circular and headed towards southeast London, North Kent. And the driver, as he comes round the corner, or she, puts the brakes on, and they clearly must have seen what was taking place, either to brake to miss Simon and his attackers in the road, or to have seen the attack taking place.
Well, it was a horrific attack. I mean, it may have been a homophobic attack. We can't be sure. I mean, Ken, how important is it to you to find out who did this?
It's very important to me and to the family to have closure on this for Simon's sake. We need to find out who did it and why, and in case these people do it again to somebody else.
Of course. Well, thank you both very much. The Met are offering a £20,000 reward leading to a conviction on this. Call us here in the studio or call the incident room on 020 8721 4054.
Now a cautionary tale. You've had a night out, a few drinks, you want a taxi home. That's when it's tempting to agree a price with any of the thousands of illegal so-called minicab drivers waiting for clubs and pubs to empty. And that's what young women do often. That's what the young woman we're about to hear from did. Of course, she expected to be left outside her own front door. Instead, she was left at the mercy of three men.
I had a few glasses of wine when I came last week. Absolutely. But I'm pretty certain it's down here on the... Don't tell me it's like the other guy.
I went to Soho to meet up with some university friends who I hadn't seen over the summer. So we were just going out to catch up, really, just for a few drinks.
Now, guys, what, we've been back like 3 minutes, and the amount of forces I've got is crazy. Please remind me again, why did I take you to the street? So, tell me about this new man. Is it serious? Does he drive? I've got a lecture in the morning. I've got to get up. Okay. You'll be right getting home. Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna cab. Give us a text and get back. Of course I will. Take care.
I left early because I was quite tired. Not that early, but I left before the rest of them. I was looking for a cab, black cab preferably, but I couldn't find one.
Minicab?
How much to the Blackstock Road?
£5?
Yeah, cool.
I remember thinking that the price was really low, so I got a good deal. I felt that he was perfectly normal taxi driver.
All right, babes?
Yeah, thanks.
So you had a nice night?
Yeah, just catching up with some friends I haven't seen for a while, so.
Nice. So you go to that club a lot?
I've not been to that one before, but it was really good. Yeah, I liked it. Aren't we supposed to be going down the other one, just there?
No, I think you're right, you know. Yeah, sorry. But what I'll do is I'll double back round later, okay?
Yeah, cool.
All right. I'll make a mistake, I'm sorry, all right?
Where are you going? I think it was just back there that we were supposed to take the turning off. Can you just stop the cab, please? If you just want to stop it, then I can climb out. Because we were supposed to go back the... Look, I've got the money, you can just take it, but can you just stop the cab, please? Then I can just go back. We're miles away from where we're supposed to be going. Can you open the doors, please? Can you just unlock the doors, please? Can you unlock the door, please? Can you just unlock the doors, please?
The door opened and a large man got in the car. He raped me. He got out of the car, and as I was trying to get out, another man got in, pushed me back. He raped me as well. So I scrambled out of the car and then ran. I remember being scared of everybody, running in the road when I could so that I didn't have to pass anyone. I kept thinking they were following me, but eventually made it back to my house. I went to the police a couple of days later, and I said that I could draw, I can get a likeness. I originally started drawing to help with the investigation, but I found that once I got the first man down on paper and I sort of got that image from my mind, he wasn't so scary anymore. He was just a man. The effect has been huge, and it feels like it's almost growing. I have trouble sleeping. I get horrible nightmares. The fact that I haven't told people has meant that I haven't been able to be honest with them, so it's affecting my relationships with people as well. If I can help find these men and stop it from happening to other people, then sort of make the whole thing worthwhile.
It's DS Michael Bone. Now, as we've been saying, these minicab so-called minicab rapes are surprisingly common, appallingly common, but you've never come across anything like this, have you? This guy's basically driving her into an ambush.
I've never come across anything where there's been the level of premeditation and planning between 3 people acting together to rape 1 woman.
But she's done pretty well in giving us descriptions of these 3 guys.
Considering what she's been through, she's done wonderfully well.
And these drawings, I mean, take us... this guy, as we showed, fairly podgy character.
This is the first rapist. He's in his 30s, he's 6 foot tall, he's quite fat, he has a double chin and a beer belly, he's got a straggly mop of black hair, and a quite distinctive scar running from under his nose.
Was that a hair lip or...?
Well, we wouldn't like to be so positive, but it's definitely left his top lip distorted.
And she said all 3 of them were sort of olive skinned. She wasn't quite sure what, though. Mediterranean, Eastern European, something like that.
Best guesstimate that she can give for their
and our
country of
accent
origin.
that the actor used as the driver was sort of indeterminate because she wasn't sure really what the accent was. Rapist number 2, again, we think Eastern European, Mediterranean-ish.
They're all from the same part of the world. Number 2 is slightly shorter and slightly skinnier.
Terrible teeth.
He has got very bad front teeth, and his hair is cropped very, very short and is receding. He also has quite a prominent Adam's apple.
And the rapist much older and 50s.
Short, fat and balding, she succinctly described him as. And he has very bushy eyebrows, again, receding hair on top, black in colour, and he's going grey.
And his car she described as probably a Mondeo or something like that, mid-1990s, red, maroon, 4-door Mondeo, with one of these dangling at the front. Tell us about this.
That's obviously dangling off the rear view mirror, as you saw from the reconstruction, and this, we believe, was on the rear seat, a leopard skin print cover. And the only other item of interest was a net bag which was off the front passenger seat. It's either built into the car when it was made or it was bought afterwards by the driver.
Now, this victim actually bitterly regrets now she didn't go to the police sooner. I think she said it was after a couple of days. I believe it was really 4 days. She's advising anybody else who's attacked, tell the police.
Exactly right. Even if you don't go through with the investigation process, at least come and see us. We will give you all sorts of advice to protect your health. You can be offered counselling, and also if you wish to take up a prosecution at a later stage, the important evidence will have been gathered and stored, and the decision is then yours.
But of course, it's so important to find these people and stop it happening again. Call us here in the studio. The number's on the screen, or if you prefer, you can call the instant room. Colleagues are there. That's on 0208 733 6481.
With the party season in full swing now, and despite stories like that and big advertising campaigns, women are still risking their safety by getting into illegal minicabs, as we found out a few nights ago. Central London, last Wednesday. We've parked up our own car. We're not licensed as a taxi. We're not even actively touting. Yet people are desperate to get in and get home.
Oh, mate, no. No, I'm waiting for a friend. Sorry, mate. Love you, bro.
So to take them?
Oh, sorry, I'm waiting for a friend. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that. No, I'm waiting for a friend. Okay, thanks a lot.
Despite all the warnings, why are people still getting into illegal minicabs?
Because there are no black cabs around. We've been stood there for 20 minutes and there's no black cabs.
The queues for night buses are ridiculous.
But if we can get in an unlicensed cab, even though it's dangerous, it's a lot cheaper. Knocks off probably about 30 quid.
The trouble with pre-booking is you're having a great time. You don't want to cut your night short by having to be home at 1, do you?
Does it scare you or worry you getting into unlicensed cabs? No. Why is that?
I'm used to living in London, so no, I'm not that worried about it. I don't really think about it, I just want to get home.
We know that at least 10 women this month in London are going to be a victim of a sexual assault from having got into an illegal minicab.
You could be getting into a cab with a man like this. Festim Duiko is wanted for posing as a cabbie and raping a woman 2 years ago. He's still on the run. He could be touting in any city in Britain tonight.
It is a sad fact of life that men will use illegal minicabs to prey on vulnerable women, and particularly at this time of year when everybody is more vulnerable.
we've got a female officer and a male officer standing right on the corner of Regent Street, Heddon Street, looking into oncoming traffic in the hope that somebody will pick up on their perhaps desperation and come over and take them.
Without a booking, even legal minicabs can't pick you up from the street. You can only hail black taxis, or in some cities, licensed hackney cabs.
A lot of the cars are less than desirable, no MOTs, they're certainly not insured. If you think of the smallest offence, no insurance, well, that's a big offence if they have a smash on the way home. Don't know whether we've got one there. We better be ready just in case.
Yeah. How much Victoria? Victoria? Yeah. Tenner. Tenner? Yeah. Lovely old job. Okay, mate, cheers.
Right, jump out here. We've got to watch the old car. Shut the doors, though.
You turn off the ignition. Police officer, turn off the ignition. Just go out the road, mate.
Just follow my colleague over here.
Keep out of the way, traffic, right.
I've got nothing, no knowledge of his previous. Obviously, they were running checks while he was at West End Central, and we'll glean something of his background there. Certainly, he's going to be charged with touting and no insurance.
You understand why you've been arrested? Okay. Come and sit in the back of this vehicle for CIA. We'll get him taken back to the station.
Despite these very public arrests, the touts keep coming.
Hello, sir. Can you put it in? Is it in park, is it?
You're under arrest for taxi touting. Yeah, what's happened? Driving recklessly. Yeah. Causing endangerment of me. Do you understand? Yeah. Excellent.
Open the door. It's the police.
Some are not best pleased.
Why are you using the force? This is very ridiculous.
Oi.
What do you think you are doing?
Arms and it's easy.
No, it is hard in my hand.
Some come peaceably, some don't. I mean, some can be violent.
Why are you using force with me?
Sir, calm down. You're going to West End Central Police Station, okay?
I go everywhere.
Okay,
I didn't say no.
Sir. Okay, calm down. I would say, despite the age of that fellow, he still had to be handcuffed. Unknown risk. That's it. I mean, that's the way we have to play it, because we're not dealing with known quantities.
The drivers arrested that night had 15 previous convictions between them. Disqualified driving, driving illegally on a provisional licence, no insurance, deception, and one who jumped bail.
If there is anyone out there that's still considering using an illegal minicab, all I would say is please don't.
You can't tell from looking at the taxi or the taxi driver whether or not he's okay. So don't take the risk, basically. It's not worth it.
It certainly isn't worth it. Deputy Assistant Commissioner John Yates, I mean, 10 women a month in London are raped or seriously sexually assaulted by illegal minicab drivers. I mean, the good news is it's better than it used to be. It used to be 18 a month back in 2002, so you're certainly having some effect now. But why is this such a major problem, not just in London, but in our big cities?
A lot of it is market forces. There simply is, there's a big, rich target audience in the major cities around the country, particularly London, and people perceive there is a need to use these type of cabs, and they oughtn't to do so.
I mean, the thing is, you wouldn't get in a car, in a strange man's car, would you, in any other circumstances? But I guess people are out late at night, they want to get home, they don't know how else to get home. I mean, 10 women a month, as we say, raped or seriously sexually assaulted by illegal minicab drivers. You think it could be more, though, don't you? Because it's very underreported.
Well, the whole rape is an underreported crime. We reckon perhaps only 1 in 5 are reported. Some people say as much as 1 in 10. And these sort of crimes are certainly underreported. It's a grave concern to us.
So what more can you do, are you doing, to get these people off our streets?
Well, we're doing an awful lot, as you've seen from the film there, a lot of enforcement activity and a big prevention campaign in terms of cinemas, leafleting, in terms of know what you're getting into. You wouldn't get into a stranger's car. You wouldn't get into a stranger's car which you knew was uninsured, unlicensed and unroadworthy and may contain a sexual predator.
I mean, the thing is, I suppose, don't go out if you don't know how you're going to get home.
Yes, that's the advice we give. We don't want to be killjoys. We want people to have a good time, but look after your friends, plan your night out and plan how you're going to get home before you do, and use a licensed minicab or a licensed cab.
OK, well, John, thanks very much indeed. And incidentally, I just want to tell you that on the Sally-Ann Bowman case, we've had an amazing response so far. It's very early on, so we've had over 100 calls. 30 names are now being fed into the inquiry. Keep those names coming if you have any more information on that case, but so far we're getting very good information. Now here's DC's Jackie Hames and Rav Wilding with this month's Wanted Faces.
Just a reminder of that illegal minicab driver wanted for a rape in East London 2 years ago. He's Festim Duiko. He'd been earlier deported but has now found his way back into Britain.
Last April, a 16-year-old girl called on her brother in Rotherham. No answer, so she knocked on his neighbour's door. 2 young men dragged her into the flat and both raped her. DNA evidence connects 19-year-old Mohammed Ahmadi to this crime. He's from Afghanistan and since left the area. Have you seen him?
Vitalius Kovalevskis is an illegal immigrant travelling on a false passport. He's wanted on suspicion of forgery and people smuggling. He's in his 40s, about 6 foot tall, and may now be using a different identity.
30-year-old Craig Blanchard should be in prison right now for drug dealing. He didn't turn up to his trial last April, and in his absence, he was given 8 years. He's 5'11" from Manchester and sometimes goes by the name of Leon Lane.
And Donald Morris was spotted by police close to the scene of a burglary in Westminster. He jumped in his car and reversed off at speed. He crashed the car, somersaulted, and he was arrested. But despite his injuries, he escaped from hospital wearing just his pyjamas. If you can help us with any of these faces, please do give us a call.
And you can see Donald Morris again, plus hundreds more wanted faces on the new Crime Stoppers website. You'll find a link to it from our own one. That's bbc.co.uk/crime.
Alexandre Marques was Portuguese, a 61-year-old gay man who lived here for 11 years. We say was Portuguese because, although he was a creature of habit, no one's seen him for the last 8 weeks. Now, D.I. Guy Ashley, his disappearance is so out of character, you think he's been murdered, don't you?
That's correct.
When
yes.
was he last seen?
He was last seen on the 16th of October by a neighbour. He was supposed to make an appointment at 9 o'clock that night. He has not been seen of or heard of by either friends or family or work colleagues since. Totally disappeared.
Now, the important thing is his coat's missing,
Correct.
his passport's missing, his keys are missing, his cash point card is missing, and in fact, you've got CCTV of someone using his cash point card later on.
That's right. 2 days after Mr Marques was last seen, and between the 18th and the 23rd, over £1,800 has been drawn from his bank account by, it looks like, the same man. This man is in his late teens, early 20s, and the CCTV imagery we have here is of the Willesden Green and Cricklewood Broadways area. He's wearing some fairly distinctive clothing. It looks like some type of designer streetwear. It's got dark trousers with red writing on the sides and a reflective or light patch on both the inside and the outside of the lower leg.
That's the kind of white flash we can see at the bottom of the CCTV there. But it's important to say, although you believe Alexandre Marques has been murdered, we don't know that that is the person who may have murdered him, but in some way he is directly or indirectly connected with Alexandre Marques' disappearance.
If that is the person that has murdered Mr Marques, then clearly if anybody recognises him, we urgently need them to put a name forward. However, it may be that that individual has received Mr Marques' cash card, not knowing the history behind it. If that is the case, I would suggest it's very much in his interest to come forward tonight so that he can be eliminated from what is a murder inquiry.
And other clues are in the keys that were taken from Mr Marques' flat. There's 2 keys. They don't look particularly distinctive on their own, but looking at the first one, is a JCM key. When you look on the reverse of it, it's got a unique identifying number, C634/27. There's another key, Yale key, and the identifying number again on that is BE8/14. Now, these are unique to him. There's another clue as well, because there was a car that was seen in the area at the time, wasn't it? A Ford, was it a Ford Escort?
It was a Ford Escort car. It's around about 4:20 a.m, a few hours after we've last heard of Mr Marques. It's around about on the 17th of October. And as can be seen from the CCTV, it's a fairly distinctive red Ford Escort. Experts have told us it's one that was made between 1990 and 1999. We don't believe that vehicle is resident in Clamricard Gardens, so it's either a minicab or somebody who could be dropping off or coming or going. If that person is watching tonight, please, we need to eliminate them from this inquiry.
But do you think Mr Marques was killed because he was gay, or was he just killed for his credit cards? What do you think?
I don't believe the motive for his murder is purely because of his sexuality, but I do know that there are incidents within the West London area where gay men have been befriended by young men on the pretense of, or what has ended up in, they've been violently attacked and their credit cards and their PIN numbers have been obtained from them. That's one of the lines of inquiry in respect to Mr Marques. What I am also aware of is that for reasons of discretion or otherwise, sometimes these offences aren't reported to police. And I would actually make an appeal, direct appeal to the gay community tonight. If there are men out there that have been attacked in similar circumstances where they've had their PIN numbers and their cash cards taken, please contact us tonight. We desperately need their information.
OK, Guy, well, thanks very much for that. Please call, as you say, if you have any information about Mr Marquez's disappearance or his last movements. The number in the studio is 0500 600 600, or you can call the Instant Room on 020 7321 9251, where there are liaison officers for the gay community alongside Portuguese-speaking officers. And our website, incidentally, has links to support groups who can also help. Now, Jackie's with a detective who wants to find a tube traveller who can't keep his hands to himself.
Yeah, I've got DS Sandy Webb with me from British Transport Police, and a very worrying character here at Oxford Circus Tube Station. Talk us through what he's up to.
That's right, Jackie. We're talking about the gentleman in the white T-shirt here. He displays a very unusual pattern of behaviour in so much as he wanders around the subways on the Underground for about 20 minutes or so, heading neither for doorways nor other platforms.
This is actually real time, isn't it? You haven't edited this. This is exactly what he's doing, isn't it? He's just going down the stairs now. He actually picks up a lady, or follows a lady in a yellow T-shirt, which we're about to see. Here she is.
That's right. He seems to target. Sorry, he seems to target her as a potential victim and follows her down the stairs. He tells her that she's got something wet on the back of her T-shirt, which we believe he's put there, and then tells her to remove her T-shirt, which she does. He then takes the opportunity to sexually assault her by placing his hand inside her dress, using explicit language as he does so.
I actually saw that just there, and this explicit language is all the way through, isn't it?
Absolutely,
He's constantly talking to
That's
her.
right.
Now we actually get to see him again. Here he is again on the tube line 2 days later. What's he up to this time?
That's right. Again, the second assault also happens at Oxford Circus. Exactly the same method of behaviour is adopted. He approaches a woman, engages her in conversation. Again, you've got lewd and explicit language used, and once again he sexually assaults her before she pushes him off.
Yeah, and he's very tall, very thin, got quite distinctive features, so hopefully someone will recognise him from these pretty clear pictures, actually.
We do hope so.
Now, clearly, this isn't the only time he's done this, is it?
Unfortunately, we suspect he may have committed several other offences, and if that is the case, and we've got any ladies out there watching who have been a victim of this man, we'd appreciate them coming forward.
Yeah, and if you actually see him on the tube line, contact a member of staff, I suppose, is the best option.
Absolutely, yes, that's right.
Well, if you recognise him, please give us a call, 0500 600 600.
Calls still pouring in on the Sally Ann Bowman case, and incidentally, we've had one call. It still needs checking out, but it really does look quite remarkable. That's going to be checked out very soon. Now, imagine you are a bus driver. You work in southeast London in this case. You're about to become a father of twins. Then one night, as you come off shift, you find yourself caught up in something almost unimaginable.
At one point, I actually thought I was dead, and the thought of not seeing the children really, really traumatized me. I thought that how would their mother cope without me around? As a bus driver, I enjoyed the work because I wasn't stuck in one place all the time. I got to go to different places. You see different types of people. I normally park on a road which is off the bus garage. I noticed a car parked 2 cars away from me, and a group of guys came out of that particular car. At first I didn't think anything of it, but the way they just came out of their car, I just quickly got into my car and locked the door. Got time, mate? At that point, I panicked a bit, and I looked at his hand, and he seemed to have a watch on, so I knew that he didn't really want the time, that it must be something else.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him back! Get back! Get him back up! Get him back! Get him back! Stay in the back. Stay down. Stay down. Let's go. Let's go. Hold him, man.
At this point, I thought that they were just after the car, so I told him, well, you can have the car, you know, if you want, you know, and I wasn't sure what was happening at this point.
You're right, yeah? Sit tight, yeah? It'll be a long journey. Yeah, boss, we're going. We're taking him now. Wait, hold on.
He put me on the phone to the person that he was talking to, so I assumed that this is the person that must have sent them. I can't remember quite well what I said to him or what he said, but I think he was saying something about he's not going to let me go and that I'm going to be laying in a casket.
Hey, hold on to this, yeah? Cool. Hey, watch him over that there.
I was really frightened for my life. I thought that they were just going to shoot me there and then and dump me somewhere. Next thing I remember was they told me to come out of the car. I got the opportunity to see that where they were taking me to was like a basement. So at this stage, my thought was that they were just taking me down there to kill me.
Bet you didn't thought you was gonna come here now, did you? Bullet.
Not for you.
You want another drink? He's silent. He's silent. Look upon him, man. Helpless now, innit? Look upon you. Pussy.
They were still in the room because I could still hear people breathing in the same room, and I managed to loosen my hand, and I got my leg free as well. And before I got up, I made sure I looked to see where the door of that particular room was so that I could quickly get out because I wasn't sure where the front door would be.
Help! Somebody help! Call the police! Call the police!
I thought that I was definitely going to get killed now because I tried to get away.
Where do you think you was gonna go?
Nowhere.
Huh?
Nowhere.
Get the iron.
When I heard him say turn on the iron, at first I couldn't believe what was really happening, but because of what I'd been through already that night, I knew that he wasn't joking, that he was actually going to do something with that iron. And that was the point where the torturing began. They put it against the back of my hand. I think it was the back of my hand, if I can remember, because they burnt me in several places. I remember them having the iron on my hand for a few seconds and then took it off again. They were threatening me. They were telling me that I'm already a dead man. They were saying all sorts of things like that, like you're already a dead man, you're dead, you're a ghost. That's when he then asked me for some phone numbers, which I now gave to him.
You know you're not rich people. Please. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Your brother better have some money, you understand?
Yeah.
You understand?
Someone better have some money. No, don't.
Listen to this, yeah?
You have to do this, bro, please. No. Stop it.
Now.
No.
You hear that? Signed your brother, mate, unless you give me 150 grand. You got it?
A lot of pain I was in, actually, at that time, because the burns were still fresh and they kept on burning the same parts over and over again. They pushed me under a bed and just left me there, all tied up. It's like I lost my sense of what time it was, what day it was. I think I was under the bed for about a day, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get rescued or if this money that they were after was going to come, because it was taking so long. And I thought if my brother had the sort of money that they were demanding, that he would have given it to them by now, surely. It was really terrifying. If I hear noises, I'll start to get paranoid and thinking that someone is coming to get me, because each time it would be quiet and then I'll hear noises again, and what comes after the noise is more torture. All that was on my mind was that if I get an opportunity, I will try to run away. I knew that they were going to a party, but they kept on whispering as though they didn't want me to know whether there was going to be someone in the house or not, because they were not sure if I was going to escape. When I didn't hear anybody talking, all I could hear was the TV. So I decided that I'm not sure if there's somebody in the next room, but it's worth me trying to escape. So I managed to get myself almost loose when they then came in to the house again. And this was when more torturing began. I don't know why they decided that they had to move me.
Wakey. I said, wakey. Put this on, mate.
All right.
Get him up. Come on, man. Come on, boy.
Ease up. Get your ass out here.
As far as I was concerned, they were not going to let me go. It was up to me to to let myself go. I saw my perfect opportunity to escape, so I just ran for it, and I continued running down to Lewisham Road and into a cafe in Lewisham where they sat me down and called the police and ambulance for me.
My initial diagnosis was that this gentleman had sustained burns that were consistent with the history he'd given, which was of an assault with a hot iron. The photographs on this page show the injuries to the left hand and forearm. The close-up of the forearm shows a straight edge. Similarly, on the dorsum of the hand, the straight edge of the burn is consistent with the straight edge of an iron. The burn on the left forearm was the deepest of all his burns. I told the patient that they should be healed within 3 to 4 weeks, but they'd likely leave permanent scars.
Well, our victim endured a very, very vicious attack, very, very vicious ordeal. If he had not escaped, I feel that we may actually now be dealing with a murder inquiry.
The whole thing has really just changed my life. I don't have a car, I don't have a job. I've had to move from where I was staying before, from the people that I used to be around. So basically, the life that I had was normal before had just changed. So I'm having to start again, start a new life again because of these people.
A lot of work's got into this case, and the police have now named 2 men that they're looking for as kidnappers, Dwayne Callender and Daniel Buchanan. Callender is 23 years old, he's 5'9", athletic build, he has a gold tooth upper left. Buchanan, same age, 23, he's 6 foot though, and he's muscular. He has a 3-inch scar on his right wrist. With your help, we'll find these guys. Kidnapping is actually a very hard crime to get away with in Britain, partly because you can report it without the kidnappers ever finding out that you have. The media have a cast-iron agreement with police not to reveal what's going on. You can call us here, or you can call the incident room on 020 8284 8377. On this or any case, you can call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111.
Now, some more good news we promised you earlier. Last month, we appealed to 13-year-old Maxine Bindi to get in touch after she left home with a 37-year-old man. Well, Maxine saw the appeal and turned up at a North Wales police station 2 days later. The man she was with, Alan Keegan, is still wanted in connection with child abduction. He has links in London and North Wales. Officers want him to do what Maxine did, turn up at a police station.
Alexander Hamish Brown, wanted on drugs offences, has finally been tracked down after 2 years. We appealed again for help in October, and a viewer called Crime Stoppers. Alexander Brown was arrested in Hampshire last month.
3 viewers called in naming this man in connection with an assault in Clapham. He was arrested next morning and charged with GBH. He's due in court next month.
We featured a suspected rape at Margate railway station last month. 2 men were wanted. Vitalijus Kovalyovas has now been arrested, but police are still looking for Thomas Kulbis.
And another from last month to end. We looked at a story of suspected witness intimidation in relation to a case involving sexual grooming of a schoolgirl. As a result, Joseph Alexander Samuel has been charged with false imprisonment, attempting to pervert the course of justice, possession of a firearm and witness intimidation.
Let's see if we can get a result now in a case that is fraught with emotion, that of 19-year-old Jenny Nichol. For 6 months now, her mum and dad in Yorkshire have been frantic to know what's become of her. Jenny was a musician who played with a local band in her hometown, Richmond, in North Yorkshire. She worked part-time at a local supermarket. But on Friday, the 30th of June, she left home telling her parents she'd be spending the night with friends. They assume she left in her white P-Reg Rover 214i. She hasn't been seen since. When she hadn't returned after 3 days, her family called the police, and later that Monday, her car was found on the outskirts of Richmond in the car park of a pub. It was Anne, Jenny's mum, who found the car, and you must have been frantic when she just disappeared.
Well, I was. Nothing to suggest why she would disappear. She just didn't come home one night, and I didn't find her car until the Monday. In the car park, as you just said.
She hadn't taken any money out of the bank, or she hadn't sort of taken a passport or made any preparation?
Still there, money still in the bank. There was no preparation for leaving home at all. She just didn't come back one evening.
Is that her teddy bear?
This is the teddy that her dad bought her on Christmas. And that went from the home maybe 2 2.5 months before she left.
So this is a replica, is it?
This is a replica, yeah.
With
yeah.
a little khaki suit on.
Absolutely,
so if
yeah.
anybody's seen that, we want to know about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
D.I. Pete Martin, why have you come to Crimewatch on this now?
We've received some new information which now suggests the answer to this investigation is very, very local.
Very, very local, to Richmond in Yorkshire?
To Richmond itself in Yorkshire, yes.
And yet there were text messages sent on Jenny's phone from Jedburgh and from Carlisle.
Yes, there were, and I believe those text messages were sent by somebody who was very close to Jenny, perhaps even a boyfriend, with the intention of creating a belief that Jenny's still alive, which I don't believe to be the case.
You think she was murdered?
Yes, I do.
So either the killer or perhaps an accomplice deliberately tried to set a false trial?
That's right, yes.
Do you know the whole network of Jenny's friends? I mean, I don't know if you know all the friends she had. Very few people do of teenage daughters. Did you know everybody who knew her?
No, Jenny is quite a deep person and kept a lot to herself. So no, I don't know who her wife
You know some. Presumably you now need to get a complete matrix of everybody.
We do, yes. We're keen to trace all Jenny's friends, and in particular to find out anybody amongst that circle of friends who visited the Carlisle and Jedburgh areas on the dates those messages were sent.
So far from this being a complete open mystery with nothing to go on, you've actually got quite a lot of pieces of this jigsaw puzzle already. Is that right?
We're just seeking the final piece now.
Really?
Yes.
OK, well, if you can provide that final piece, if you have any information, call us here in the studio or call the Instant Room, 01609 768 111.
In October, we featured the murder of 90-year-old Elsie Hughes. She was beaten to death a month before at her home in Abermorvie, near Wrexham. Police now think she may have known her killer and are offering a £30,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Call us here in the studio.
Finally for us tonight, two thieves in Aberdeen have stooped really low. Last week, they got into an old folks' home. They stole the raffle prizes for the residents' Christmas party.
They also stole a Santa mask and hood, which one of them was seen wearing just after the burglary. So if you've seen an Aberdeen Santa with a sack of goodies he shouldn't have, give us a call in the studio.
Let's hope the residents of Grey Court in Maastricht and Aberdeen still manage to have a happy Christmas. You too. Come back to that in a moment. Rav.
Right, we really have an excellent response to the Sally Ann Bowman murder. We've had over 130 calls and rising all the time, which is an excellent. We've had several names given for the attacker, but what we really want is to know why you think it's him. Is it his appearance? Is it his behaviour? Is it just where you've seen him from? We need to know that. We've got the incident room up on your room numbers on your screen now, or the office number here. The team are standing by ready to take your calls. If there's any doubt in your mind about it being him or not, give us a call. We can quickly rule out an innocent person.
And you can find the details of all tonight's cases, of course, on our website, bbc.co.uk/crime. Our phone lines are open until midnight tonight, then from 7:30 until midnight tomorrow.
And we're back after the news with Crimewatch Update at 10:35, later in Wales. Join us if you can. Crimewatch next month is on Tuesday, 31st of January.
Meantime, from us at least, a very happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Whatever happens, don't have nightmares. Sleep well. Good night.
Good night.